Welcome to another Mr. Tutorials video. In this video, I will be showing you how you can use the HSL qualifier in the Vinci Resolve. The HSL qualifier is a tool which allows you to change a certain color based on a selection. It's a selection tool. So the HSL qualifier, it allows you to select. So you select it based on the hue. A hue is like the pure color. A hue can be like blue, it can be orange, it can be green, it can be yellow. Okay? And then S stands for saturation. So saturation is how strong that color is. Is it going to be just very like light where you can barely, it's like doesn't look that much like the color? It's very weak. Or is it going to be a very strong color? And L, it stands for luminous. So that stands for how bright or dark the color is. So let's jump right into it. So to demonstrate it, we will be changing this this nice like image of some greenery. We're going to change the color of the grass. Okay? I'll be in the description. You will see a link where you can download this file if you want to work along with it. So to get started, let's just get straight to the color page. This is where all the work will do. To make sure that you see the exact same thing that I'm seeing, click Workspace and click Reset UI Layout. This will reset the layout to the default layout screen. So first thing, all we are going to need is this bottom side, okay? So I think what we can do, we can just close this section by clicking on this gallery over here. We can just close it like that. And I think we're ready to get started. So first, by default, you're right now seeing this like line thingy. What you want to do is you want to click on this thing which kind of looks like a syringe. This is the qualifier section. Make sure that you are on it says HSL over here. If it's not, click the drop down area and you can change it. So there are other types of qualifier which I'll be showing in later videos. So for now, we have all of these options over here. So this option is to just start the selection and then record the hue, saturation, and luminance. This is if you want to subtract some from your selection. If you've already made some subtractions, you've already made your selection, but then you change your mind. I don't want this. Okay? And the plus button, this is to add more if you already have it. Currently, this plus thing, it's not going to do anything to us because we do not have a base selection yet. This button over here is to decrease feathering. I'll tell you what that feathering is later. And this is to increase feathering. So let's just start with the basic pointer over here and make our selection. So let's start somewhere we have to click and hold. Because if you just click once, you're not going to get a very good selection. So let's start at the darkest part. And then let's go lighter, 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 and there. I think that's where we should stop. But then how do we know what we selected? We can click on this kind of like magic wand button, and then it doesn't show the rest of the image. So we got a pretty good selection, but let's change it a bit. So over here we have our hue. So there's a few controls that we can do. We can change this. So we can change like the blues, and then like it has a selection. So we can change the selection completely with doing that. Let me undo. Okay. So I think maybe just a tiny bit less of the blue. I think that's a bit better. Okay. We also have this tool, the center. So it just depends where that box is, the width, how wide it is, which you can also control by using this. The soft, so that's like how soft the selection is. So then like you see, there's a bit lower intensity intensity over there, so that like you see it's a bit of different intensities. I think we should have a bit of a, I think this is a good soft, because then it's kind of blurring into it, so like it's kind of going in. Okay, then we have the saturation box over here. It has kind of the same controls. Okay, except in this one you control the low and high individually. Like you can see, you can control the lows and highs individually. Since high saturation doesn't change anything, I'm just going to keep it on the high because it doesn't change much. But when you change the saturation over here, it changes a bit. Let's just make this maybe a tiny bit more like that. I think I like it like that now. So now we can actually control the soft individually. So it's a bit different from the other one where you just control the whole soft. You can control them individually. If you want more left soft, but you want more, but you don't want any right soft, so then you only have the softness on the left side. And once again, softness, it creates like this different levels of intensity. Okay. And then finally, we have the luminance. It has the exact same controls as the saturation, but it controls how dark or bright the thing is. So let's just mess around with this until I think this is a good selection so far. Okay? But what if we want to make it even cleaner? Like make the selection just more solid. We can actually go into the mask view. So if we click over here on this top part, so it will change it to a mask. So this mask, it will show us the whites are the things that we'll be able to see, and the blacks are we're not going to be able to see. So for example, we have all of this just like stuff inside this, like here. We just want that to be a solid, just none of all this gray stuff over here. We just want it to be very solid so it looks nice. What we can do is we have all these tools over here. We have denoise. So denoise, it kind of just blurs the selection really. It just blurs it. Let me undo. Clean black, it makes the black solid. So it like kind of makes the blacks a bit more solid. I'm going to undo over here. And clean white. This makes the whites more solid. This is what we really want right now. Increase clean whites, and now you can see it looks a bit cleaner now, doesn't it? Maybe be a clean black, maybe a bit. Okay. We also have the blur radius, so it's just another blur. It's similar to the denoise. Then we have the in to out ratio. So like if we go more here, it has more blacks. If we go over here, it has more whites. So that's how the ratios for it. Maybe change that maybe a bit, but I don't think we should mess with that one too much. And then now we got some sort of a selection. So now let's just actually see it, not with this. So the best way to actually see it is make like a drastic change. So click on the magic. So to get out of the black and white, you just click on that highlight button. But now I think let's just exit the highlight view. That only shows what we're selecting. So click there. And then let's make a drastic edit just to see how it will look. Looks pretty nice, doesn't it? So, like we said, we're going to change the color now. Let's change the color now. Let's make it look like it's all orange, like it's an orange like August. Okay, let's change the lift, which is the dark, which is like the black. Let's make this I think actually we can actually remember if we go to 2, if we click 2, we can actually change the tint so it makes it warmer or cooler. I think let's make this that much warm. Let's increase the temperature too so it looks a bit more warm too. I think that should be good. And then let's change the lift a bit like that. Change the gain, which is the whites, to a bit like this.